demoniacal creatures with huge canine teeth who bite deeply into the necks of their victims to grab and gorge on blood, warm human blood.
Expectation of noise is sufficient to build up considerable tension.
Fuck you, I ever gave a fuck about anything. Lately I've been thinking maybe I could make a change. The only problem is there's something in my mind playing tricks. It's like a broken record. Every month is the same. The money's got me stressing, but not enough to negate this bag of weed I'm bound to blaze. Let's take it straight to the dome. All I'm waiting on is hoping McNeil to pass the dope. Ain't no conversation. Gonna keep your thoughts to yourself. I got enough going on within my head, man. I spent too long inside this hell. I bet I'm probably insane. So watch your step, but they might find you in an early grave. Another day, another night, just me and you. That's what I said to my reflection as I'm looking in the mirror with a smile on my face. I know I found the truth. It's not depressing when you really got nothing to prove. I promise I'm okay, let me do my thing. Enjoy the finest entertainment from behind the screen. And I'ma paint you a picture without the pain again. Maybe you'll realize you're just part of my imagination. We're both arranged. A couple broke ass regular Joes stuck in the game with no easy way to pay the rent. When every road is the shame, and I don't know how much more of this I can take. It seems like death is right around the bend, and so I'm smoking this cigarette to the bud, even though it's helping the devil win. So when I fall, I tend to wait until the blood flows to pick myself up from the ground. I'ma play it slow. Before the reaper comes to pray, I need some time alone with Mary Jane, kicking back, watching the rain as I cope with all the pressure they send me. Cause you gotta maintain. Still I tend to get lazy with every breath I waste. Since a youngin' I was destined to roam, but now I'm sitting on the grass, puffing heavy, nodding off. Once I sleep, I trail the shadow through my dreams and line to reach the gates. With no guidance, no rhyme or reason to conceal the rage. I thought the sound was made to glow and trouble show his face, but that's a lie, cause I woke up feeling like I'm insane. I must have forgot I'm a sinner, man, I'm getting old. It's kinda tough to come to terms, I just can't seem to cope. If all my eyes see is red, it's tough to read the room. That's why I tend to turn to trouble when I'm feeling blue.
The study of the universe spans almost inconceivable extremes of size and distance and time. An unimaginable concentration of elementary particles.
Shit gets heavy in this game, but you know I'm coming real. You gotta maintain, ain't no love for the wicked. It's just another day in hell, man. Welcome to existence. Sometimes I can't control my mind. Into the void I fall in deep. This world to eat you alive. A virus flows beneath the system. All I see is red. They went and left me hanging dry. Now I'm stuck in the middle. Late at night I watch the rain hit my window. The different tones, they help the sickness. This life we live is full of lies and dirty tricks. It keeps on turning like a record. Don't let yourself be the death of you. Feed your head, relieve the brain. Observe the message as you went through the gates. In purgatory I wait behind the question, how will I remain? So pay your dues or face the pressure of fate. I thought you knew. Yeah, shit gets heavy in this game. It's hard to wrestle with your feel. We gotta maintain. There ain't no love for a sinner. It's just another day in hell, baby. The conflict of living, it holds its grip, so feed your head. This eases the pain, releasing stress inside your mental. I rest in purgatory forever, still haunts this question, how will I remain? Just choose a lane before we get you. Out of the blue, it all could change in a flick. A simple switch, a slight mistake might knock your ass dead. The universe is so strange, a pathological mess. Gonna take me back to 96 when everything was better. No bills to pay, no worthless job, no constant taste for liquor. I hate the future, so the past is where I serve my sentence. They want a piece of the loot, so I proceed to tread with caution. Fuck the law, and that's the truth, it's time to make a move. The government preys on its sheep, and as we dangle from a thread, I pray the serpent cuts a deal. Cause even if we try to search for peace, the devil creeps between these walls. But fear the dog without a leash, shit gets heavy in this game. You gotta maintain.
Beyond Venus, 93 million miles from the sun, is Earth, a nourished life.
Take it off the motherfucking set.
evil shit. Feeling heavy with the struggle. Got some demons on my back. Seem to step in every puddle. Don't be clicking it.